Permutations is a mathematical calculation of the number of ways a particular set can be arranged. There are two formulas for permutation. One being permutations without repetitions, which is this formula, and another one being permutations with repetition, which is this formula. The key difference between permutations and combinations lies in the importance of order. In permutation, the order of items matters, whereas in combinations, it does not. So, what are some real-life examples of permutations? One are a combination lock. Second is passwords. Another one can be phone numbers, car plate numbers. These are the most basic permutation problems. And this question says that it's 9 and a permutation of 3. So 9 is a total, and like 3 are gonna be picked. So the formula to solve this is this one. And the only thing we need to do with these numbers is to substitute them, or to plug them in the formula. So by doing this, we'll have an exclamation point of 9 in the top and 9 minus 3 exclamation point. This we will need to multiply all the numbers from 9 to 6. So then we can cancel those 6 on the top and on the bottom. And our final answer will be 504. Then the next question is the same. 11 permutation of 5. Here we have the formula to solve it. And now we're gonna put in the numbers in the formula. So we're gonna have an exclamation point of 11, and in the bottom 11 minus 5, which will give us 6. So we'll multiply all the numbers here on the nominator from 11 to 6. We cancel, multiply the things on the top, and we'll get 5,540. Now we're gonna solve some permutation word problems. So this problem says 10 students take a test and 3 will win a prize. So this is a permutation without repetition, because it's not saying us that it has repetition. And we're gonna do a 3-word column. So in this column, we're gonna say that n equals 10, the total number of students, and r equals 3, the ones that will get the prize. Then using the permutations formula, we're gonna plot in all the values, and we're gonna do from 10 to 7 multiplying, because it has an exclamation point. So when we get to 7, we eliminate both 7s on the top and in the bottom, and the total answer is gonna be 720.
The second question you need to ask yourself is repetition possible? Is it possible to use the same number in your passcode twice? If so, there's repetition. Let's see in a poker hand. Can you get 2 aces? If not, there's no repetition. Repetition is basically when you can choose again the element that was previously chosen. Now we will be solving some word problems. The first one reads, in how many ways can I create 2-letter words from the letters in the word Dave? So, summary line, 2-letter words in the word Dave. And it's a 3-column word. First of all, Dave has 4 letters. So 4 letters. We want to find 2-letter words. 2-letter words. We know it's a permutation because the order matters. And there's no repetition. No rep. Next, we are using the permutations with no repetitions formula. In this case, is 4 factorial divided by 4 minus 2 factorial. Then we will solve and we will get 4 times 3 times 2 factorial, and now we do 4 subtracted by 2, which gives us 2 factorial. We can cancel then the 2's, and we're left with 12. The next word problem that we will be solving is this one, and it reads, how many permutations with all the letters further can we make? So summary line, how many permutations with word further. It's a 3-column work, and now we can add what we know. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has 7 letters. We know there's repetition because the R's repeat. Repetition. And it's a permutation because the order matters. Now we're gonna use the formula for permutations with repetition, and this one is 7 factorial, and since there's 2 repetitions, since the R repeats 2 times, there's a 2 factorial in the bottom. Now we can solve 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 2 factorial. So now we can cancel all the 2's, and if you multiply all these numbers together, you get a final answer of 2520. A shortcut for solving these types of problems is first analyzing and understanding the type of problem that they give you. Understand if they're giving you a permutation or a combination, and ask yourself, does order matter, and does the question have repetition? Another great tip that might help you in your problems is memorizing the factorials up to at least 10, because those are the most frequently asked questions.
Hello, I'm Inigo from Math Lesson. So starting off, what is a permutation word problem? A permutation word problem is one in which you use real-life information given in word problems, and you use the information to find the number of permutations. So this is the general equation for permutations in a word problem. So n represents the size of the set of the total number of permutations. P just represents that is a permutation word problem, and K is a selected amount of permutations in a set. And to solve it, you put on top of the equation the total number of permutations, and on the bottom you put the total minus the selected number. This example presented reads, a company wants to build out its warehouse network across the country. The company will commit to 3 locations out of 5 possible sites. Order matters. So for this equation, the number of permutations is given by these equations, in which 5 represents the total number and 3 represents the selected number. So it's 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 3, which equals to 5 factorial divided by 2, and the answer is 60. Okay, so today we're gonna solve this example. This example reads as following. How many permutations of 3 vowels can be made from the vowels A, E, I, O, U without any repetition? Okay, so to solve permutation word problems, it is recommended to use 3-column work. In the first column, you put the data. Okay, so this is a permutation word problem. As we know, there is no repetition. The total number of sets is 5 vowels, and the selected number is 3. So next we will do the work. In the work, you have to put on top the 5, which is the 5 vowels, which is the total number of sets, and on the bottom you put the total minus the selected, which are 3-letter words. This should equal 2. Okay. And on the last column, you should put your answer. To solve factorial problems, you should put the total number of permutations, which is 5, until you get to the answer you got below, which equals 2. So you go from 5 to 2 and multiply all. You can cancel the 2's as they are equal, and you will only get 5 times 4 times 3, which equals to 20 times 3, which equals to 60. That's how you get your final answer. Number 2 reads as following. How many ways can 6 athletes be placed on the podium at the Olympics, depending on the color of the medal? Okay. So we'll start off with the data. The data in this word problem is, as we know, it's a permutation word problem. There is repetition. There are 6 athletes, which is the total number of the set, and there are 3 medal, which is the selected number on the set. So on top you put the total number, which is 6, and on the bottom you put your total number, which is 6, minus the selected number, which is 3, and that equals 3. So on the bottom you should have 3 on your equation. So on your answer you should put, as I explained, from your total number until your selected number and multiply them all. That 3's cancel out, and you have 6 times 4, 6 times 5 times 4, which equals 30, times 4, which equals 120.